Oh, you know what? We just picked this up from we picked this up in the Santa Anita area near Pasadena. You can see it right there. It is a Rolls Royce Phantom. So this is not a slouch of a vehicle, and it has been driving extremely recklessly, wrong side of the road. That actually got to a point where in the Pasadena area where the California Highway Patrol backed off because of the reckless driving in the traffic area. As you can see, that is continuing now. We're very, very close to the, to Dodger Stadium, and you can see this vehicle continuing on. I'm going to bring up the map for you guys here. Whoa, 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 whoa. In just a second here, and then we can continue on and take a look at what's going on. There you go. He's making his way. He's on Sunset, and he's directly underneath us. Excuse everybody. I hope everybody took their Dramamine as we do a little pirouette right there. But this vehicle has been continuing running red lights, doing very reckless driving, and then there was some talk that there may be a weapon inside of the car. As far as that, right now we don't know. I know California Highway Patrol has got a helicopter above it. They're trying to get ground units behind it, and I'm sure LAPD is aware of what's going on, and they're going to get involved here in just a moment. He definitely was on. He was on the 210 for quite a bit, and that's where our awesome Simon desk got a hold of us and said, "Hey, there's a pursuit. We should go." He was on the freeways for quite a while, but then got off in the Sierra Madre area and was in the Pasadena area. Look at this! Look at this! Look at this! Oh! Look at that! It didn't, no contact, but that vehicle got really, really close. And this, this reckless driving continues out here. Again, I brought up a moment or two ago that this vehicle, not a slouch of a vehicle. It is a Rolls Royce. It is a heavy vehicle, and of course, it has the horsepower to match that type of performance that you expect from a car like that. Right now, though, it's driving very, very recklessly. There is no law enforcement behind it, but we're making our way into the downtown area. I'm going to have to work with my pilot, Mike, today to keep an eye on it. I haven't seen him pop out between the buildings. This worries me. I do not want to lose that vehicle. Mike, we're going to have to get more over it. Okay. That's right, and now we're hearing, we're getting information through the through the airship, meaning the law enforcement, that they lost him as well. Went under one of these tunnels down here, so the law enforcement that they lost him as well. Went under one of these tunnels down here, so we're going to stay kind of straight down just for a moment or two. We're going to listen in, see if we can pick this thing back up. But right now, this is one of the reasons why look, there he is. He was right there. It was right there. This is one of the reasons why they always want to keep the law enforcement on the ground behind him as well as in the air above him. Right now, though, I know this area not super well. There he is. There he is right there. And he's going to be southbound and eastbound, continuing on in the downtown area. Now he's on 4th Street. You can read that right there. But this is a very, very congested area. And this would be another opportunity if LAPD or the law enforcement on the ground had that opportunity. They could maybe get nearby, possibly do some sort of pit maneuver. Even though that is a heavy car, they might be able to do something to bring this to an end. Right now, though, this is a very dangerous situation, a very desperate driver, and of course, like you said, $500,000 worth of vehicle. Well,
and families, and
southbound.
We're kind of in the swing of things right now, people in their routine. So we're talking about the lunch hour. Some people take their cars, go get lunch in the downtown area, and it's very difficult, as you see right there, to keep an eye on this stolen vehicle because of the fact that when you're talking about downtown, you see those high rises, you see the elevation changes in the streets, there's some tunnels, some paths where it's very easy to lose visibility, as we're seeing right now. But clearly, Stu is doing a great job, as is Mike, the the pilot there trying to keep a track of this stolen vehicle pursuit, which again, he said started in Arcadia. This pursuit then made its way along the 210 for quite some time through surface streets of Pasadena. And now, obviously, we've picked it up around Dodger Stadium and into downtown LA. This is so dangerous because obviously a lot of people not knowing what's happening around them with no alert in place, with no law enforcement following this stolen vehicle right now. So it's very easy to be confused if you're a driver out there to know what's going on. Stu?
You know, I've got the PD ship. I'm looking out the window. I think they're in a completely wrong area. They were, the last time we saw them, they were probably on Broadway or Hill going southbound. That was the last place that I saw them in the downtown area. Now, I got to work with Mike for just a moment or two here, and I'm sorry about the camera work, but we got to find this vehicle, and right now I got to find Broadway. So he was somewhere right over here near 5th Street, and that was one of the last places we saw him. We're going to move a little bit south. Mike, move south. Move south, please, Mike.
Yes, you and Mike work together, Stu, to get situated right there as you're listening to multiple scanners, what Stu does up in Skyfox along with the pilots. In this case, Mike, it is very difficult because they are listening to law enforcement scanners. They are scanning the scene below them as well. As you can see, they're trying to fixate that camera, get that right camera angle to bring you this pursuit, which could be, hopefully not, though, very dangerous when it comes to public safety. And that is why it's so important that we do show you the situation on the ground when we're dealing with a pursuit like this. You saw how reckless that driver was inside that stolen Rolls Royce Phantom. We're talking about a car that is worth at least $450,000, and that is why it is very dangerous. It has a lot of horsepower, and the driver of that vehicle driving very recklessly. As far as we know so far, no collisions to report, but clearly a very scary situation on the ground there. If you do see a vehicle like this, you don't know the situation oftentimes, and clearly this is why we bring these to you. But the work that Skyfox is doing and Stu is doing to make sure you get that information is very, very difficult, especially when you're talking about a place like downtown LA, where, as you can see, the high rises make it very difficult to really get eyes on the ground there, even from an aerial standpoint. And you can see the cars whizzing by. This is coming up on lunchtime when a lot of offices, they're back in business, right? People are in the office now. Things are coming to a more fall-like schedule with families back from vacation, students back to school. So we may see the lunchtime rush. So people pouring out of those buildings soon, getting on the streets, perhaps going to lunch, whether it's walking or driving, and then you encounter something like this. But clearly right now, giving Stu and pilot Mike some time to really try to figure out if we can pick up once again on this stolen Rolls Royce Phantom. This happened starting in Arcadia, traveling through Pasadena, those surface streets. Again, a very scary situation if you're in neighborhoods where this reckless driving can be witnessed. And then the driver taking this stolen vehicle, this Phantom Rolls Royce, through the 210, and then now, of course, making their way to Dodger Stadium and then downtown. There was at one point, Stu, you mentioned that possibly a weapon is involved in this case.
That's right, possibly a weapon. And thank you, Sandra, for taking that time and trying to fill everybody in and give us a few moments here. But you know what? I'm listening to it, and the helicopter, we actually had it for, that's not any kind of bragging or anything like that, but we had it for a little bit longer than actually even the California Highway Patrol. We got lucky. I know that area right there. You have those underground, you have that tunnel over there. They shoot a lot of movies there. But and every time I see a vehicle moving quickly down underneath me, I'm always thinking, is that a Rolls Royce? And I believe that is not. And anyways, so we keep looking around down there. We're going to keep an eye on it. But as it stands right now, none of the law enforcement have eyes on that vehicle on the ground. And we're just kind of keeping an eye out. But, you know, it's a Rolls Royce Phantom, and it's probably going to stand out. But at this point right now, we're still just looking for it. If we pick it up, we'll let everybody know for sure.
Yeah, sometimes this is the case where even law enforcement officials lose sight of this vehicle and the vehicle that they're pursuing. But clearly, you know, their job isn't easy as well.
Right now, for about 20-25 minutes right now, this chase has been going on. It originated in Broward County, went up north to Palm Beach County, and now is back in northern Broward County. Right now, that car is going south on the Florida Turnpike. We don't have much information as to who is driving, how many people are in that car, but as you can see, they're exiting on Commercial Boulevard right now.
Yeah, we've been watching this driver start from perhaps Miami-Dade, where the original incident were believed to, we're hearing some reports, but it's not confirmed, so we don't want to pass them along. This person could be armed as well, but we have seen them drive against traffic going well over 100 miles per hour at some points in Turnpike, then go up to Palm Beach County, and now they have stopped here when they got off the Turnpike. Now they are going to go into that car right behind them. It appears to be right, and we just lost the shot there, but it appears to be attempted carjacking. Again, this is a driver who just got out of that car, and if we've lost that shot, we've been watching this for about 20-25 minutes. Okay, and it appears our producers who've been watching this say that he did get back in his car after the attempted carjacking.
Yeah, right now we've lost the picture, but this is what we can tell you. This police chase started about 25 minutes ago, and we're talking about tri-county chase. So Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, and this car has vacillated between mostly Broward and Palm Beach County. Right now, northern Broward County, that white Lexus. We're getting reports from police right now as to how many potential drivers there are and how it originated, but we haven't been able to confirm those reports as of yet. But we can tell you that that car was traveling at high rates of speed. Once it got off of the Turnpike, it was completely ignoring traffic lights and signals going into oncoming traffic, then getting back on the right lane, and they have not been able to stop this vehicle.
And what we haven't seen are troopers behind that driver. So we've seen a police chopper who was up above, but we have not been able to, or they have not been following very closely. Okay, if we can get the images, it looks like we have it, but they're trying to carjack a car right behind. The person got out of the car, put their arms up. It would be great if we could show you here, but it looks like we're losing connection. But we will try to navigate you as much as we can, because we've lost the picture again. But this driver, again, perhaps it started in Miami-Dade, and then the incident unraveled, perhaps an armed robbery that escalated into this cross-county chase that started, again, in Miami-Dade, went up to Broward, went up to Palm Beach, and then back down to Broward County. So what I'm looking at here on my peripheral vision,
there we go. We can see it now crashing into other cars as we speak right now. And now, okay, and now we can see that the police are right now being able to apprehend the person or people in that car right now. As we can see, we apologize for the technical difficulties that we're encountering right now. But as you can see, that Lexus has gotten into an accident right now. We haven't seen anyone getting out of the car.
And what this is now, it appears that that driver actually carjacked a Tesla. We saw the driver of the Tesla put their arms up, surrender to that attempted carjacker. And now we have the suspect who led officers on this chase in that Tesla, now getting out of that car, blocked in by a number of patrol cars, and you can see them approaching. Now he is making a run for it. He is running across. There's actually a delay here because this is a live television, and of course that's always the concern. We don't know what could happen. He has jumped that fence, this white fence that he's going to jump right now, and running through these neighborhoods. So if you're in this area here, the last location we got was Commercial Boulevard, was where the suspect got off the Turnpike, Commercial Boulevard. So if this is Rock Island Road is the address we're getting here, and Commercial Boulevard. So Rock Island Road and Commercial Boulevard. This is looks like a complex that this suspect perhaps ran into the backyard trying to elude investigators. This person could be armed, extremely dangerous, has already carjacked several drivers out on the road. So please be mindful if you're in this area.
It looked like police were close to apprehending the suspect, and once they got close enough, that suspect took off, jumped a fence, and now is somewhere in the area of Rock Island Road and Commercial Boulevard. As you can see, this is a residential area. We cannot find that suspect right now. So obviously we hear he could be armed and dangerous. So if you're in that area, heed the warning. Just be careful. Perhaps stay in your homes. We see some police vehicles that are circling the area. and some police officers that are outside of their cruisers. Now we see that that other car that's going through the area also in a high rate of speed. But just moments ago, we saw that suspect get out of the vehicle and started running, and we have lost that suspect right now from our view from Chopper 6.
And the concern is, if that person is armed, is that person inside of one of these homes? And the concern obviously is for the safety of those residents nearby. You can see the chopper is up ahead. This is the police chopper just below the NBC6 chopper as well. That's giving a vantage point for investigators as they're trying to find this this armed carjacker, or we don't know exactly how it originated, but we know that this person was perhaps wanted out of Miami-Dade just before 2 o'clock. And then they led investigators up the turnpike, got off on Glades, turned around in Palm Beach County and made their way back on the Sawgrass Expressway heading south, and made a run for it. And now we are here on Commercial Boulevard and Rock Island Road in Broward County, and you can see K-9 units, you can see the police chopper, and the number of agencies who are currently looking for this person in this residential area of Broward County.
Let's give you the exact address right now where the suspect jumped the fence, and that was Northwest 55th Place and 49th Avenue. Now, once again, this is in the area of Commercial Boulevard and Rock Island Road, but this is Northwest 55th Place and 49th Avenue where the suspect jumped the fence after a cross-county chase here, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach counties at high rates of speeds, and once he was able to get out of the car that he had carjacked, he jumped the fence when he was close to getting apprehended, and now police are searching for him along with some K-9 units. We can see them enveloping that area right now. This is a residential area, and obviously because we're hearing that he could be armed and dangerous, it is very dangerous for the residents in this area if they're in their homes to stay there and not to be curious and to be going outside, because there is a suspect that is in this community somewhere.
So this is just south of Commercial Boulevard. I'm pulling up on a map here, and this is all neighborhoods in this area. So this is Rock Island, just west, rather east of Rock Island, south of Commercial Boulevard. So if you have anybody who is familiar with that area or in that area, please let them know. This is also west of 441 State Road 7. This is the Tamarack area. That this is a driver who got out of the car, wanted by investigators, led them on a cross-county chase, 3 counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, and Palm Beach County, and now 30 minutes later has made their way into a neighborhood, running through perhaps backyards and people's homes. And our team says that they did see that person have a gun. We were hearing that perhaps it was a high-powered rifle, but we're working to get more information on that. But Jackie, we see these too often, these chases, and they always end up with the person being arrested. But you just hope that no one is in danger in between that. We did see several carjackings, and luckily those drivers were presuming are okay.
Throughout the cross-county pursuit, we saw several police departments involved, from Miami-Dade to FHP to BSO. Right now they are in Broward County. They are looking for that suspect who may be armed and obviously dangerous. We saw for about 30 minutes ago when the car chase began in Miami-Dade County, we were hearing reports that it started in Miami-Dade County, went through Broward up to Palm Beach, and then once again south to Broward County. And when they finally were able to catch up to the suspect and close to apprehending him, he was able to get away and was able to jump a fence, and now is in this neighborhood. Once again, the address, Northwest 55th Place and 49th Avenue. You can see police on the scene right now, some K-9 units as well, desperately looking for this suspect in this residential area. As Shelley mentioned, this is an all residential area at Northwest 55th Place, 49th Avenue, close to Rock Island Road and Commercial Boulevard. We're seeing a lot of police activity as they are looking for this possibly dangerous suspect.